Well, we promised there'd be a video, and here it is. So I promised there'd be a video this weekend. This may or may not be it. It depends on whether or not I get a chance to post something a little bit better or remake it. But things get pretty busy around here, and so taking advantage of downtime after closing up the shop and introducing myself, introducing Silver Coast Copper, and maybe kickstarting a little bit of consistency and posting some videos here that show a little bit about what goes on, what's involved, and how I do it. I've been working in copper for quite a while now, and exclusively in copper. There's quite a bit that goes into it, and hopefully these videos will be a little bit more informative as to the process behind it all. People that are wanting to get into the hobby of melting down copper, making their own bars, and creating something that is beautiful out of pretty general looking raw materials. So with that being said, I'll first get into raw materials, and something that does I think make our this shop a little bit different is I really don't work with scrap. I get asked it quite often if you know, I would buy scrap, take scrap in trade. You know, to a certain extent, it is pure. There's a lot of stuff out there that you can get that's pure. One of the things that I really want to get into regarding the melting down of copper and making of bars is the safety aspect that goes into it. Things you're going to really need to pay attention to, things you're going to need to always stay on top of and continue to educate yourself about, and especially if you're going to be working with scrap copper, because when you're putting it into a furnace and you're firing it up, you've got particles that are coming off, and you've got vapor fumes that are going to be coming off, and if you do not know 100% what it is, then you're putting yourself at risk. And so, you know, things that I'm really going to harp on in the videos that we put out are safety, 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 and then lastly, safety. You've only got one set of lungs, to my knowledge. I keep looking for a spare set, but I seem to have misplaced mine. And you need to protect that. You've only got one good set of appendages here, and you need to protect these. Same with these legs and these feet. Same with your body and your torso. And so every component that I'm going to speak to, or I guess I'm going to try to get an element of safety into every video that comes out. Because the last thing I want to do is have something out there, have an individual that's really interested in getting into this as a hobby, and seeing somebody get hurt. And you know what? I see enough people out there pouring in tennis shoes and flip-flops. It's just a matter of time before the horror story comes out. Accidents are going to happen. They happen quite often, and the more you do it, the more likely you are to run into it. I've certainly had my share of accidents. Very thankful for safety equipment, very thankful for having the good gear, because things happen, equipment fails. So we're going to speak a lot to that. That being said, as a component of the shop, I choose to not work with any scrap or recycled material that would probably put the shop at a better cost advantage when we're putting our product out there. But you know what? When you're chewing through 2 tons of this stuff a month, you really got to know what you're breathing. You got to know what's going into the furnace. You need to know what you're sanding. And ultimately, I think what's also just as important, and people overlook this a lot of times, is you know, even though you may be careless with your own safety, if you're selling something or you're sending it into a another individual's home where they may have, you know, kids, you need to know what you're sending them, you know. And so does the copper or the product that I'm sending out there, does it have lead contaminant? Does it have cadmium on it? Was zinc a component of this? Any host of things that come into play when you're dealing with metals that you're not sure of. So just to show you, this is what I work with. This is pure copper rice. I get asked about it a pretty good bit. That's the only material we work with. It is pretty expensive, but when it comes to safety and it comes to purity, I really don't have the ability to mess around with it. So that's the first start off. We're going to be focused pretty heavily on the safety aspects of it, and hopefully that helps some of you guys out. At the same time, I'm going to obviously get into the pouring, which is the fun stuff. Everybody seems to, but I'll tell you, after you've been out there sweating and lugging over 3 or 4 of these furnaces at 2,000 degrees on a nice summer day, you might start to disagree with that a little bit. But that's where the magic's supposed to happen, is whenever it's going into the mold and you're melting this stuff down. And so I'm going to try and get as much in of that as I can, and to keep it relevant and hopefully show some new things. And if you guys have some questions or ideas, like I'm more than eager to try and answer them, and to see if it's something new that can be tried. I learned something new from people. Seems like at least once a week I'm seeing a new idea or a new trick. I may try it and find out that it doesn't work for the setup that I've got, but always willing to look at new things and different things. A little bit about Silver Coast Copper. Like I said, we only work in copper. That's the only thing that I produce, only thing I deal with. I have done some silver here and there, but I'll be real honest with you. I just like working with copper. It's a great metal. It never bores me. It always does something a little bit different, and it always does something a little bit surprising, and I really like that. The products that are put out by my shop are consistent size and weights. It makes it a whole lot easier when customers are ordering, and so I produce a 1 kilo, a 2 kilo. And then I have the 100 ounce, 200 ounce, 300 ounce, and the 350 ounce. And the larger size from the 100 ounce and up are in what we call our Clydesdale series of bars, with 350 ounces being the largest that my shop will currently pour. Silver Coast is shipped really all over. So all over the United States. I believe we've hit all 50 states. We've shipped into Canada quite a bit. We've shipped into Europe, Australia, and Mexico. So we are a bit international in our shipping, and I always enjoy getting orders from people from different places. Sometimes the shipping can get a little squirrely, but you know what? People still order it, and we'll ship it. It does make you feel good when people from that far away hear about you and want your product. Right now, most of what we put out and sell is through eBay, although we have quite a bit of stuff that does come into us direct, and everything that goes out does include our contact information, email address, and phone number here to the shop. But my name is Rick. I run Silver Coast Copper. Sometimes my son Ryan will be out here helping me. More than likely, he's going to be the individual that's doing most of the videoing for this, because I will go ahead and tell you guys that I am terrible when it comes to things like this, and he's a whole lot better at it. But every bar that's made, I touch. Every bar that goes out, I touch. Right now, we're probably shipping out 70 or 80 packages a week, and like I said, we melt through right at 2 tons, give or take, every single month. So that's us in a nutshell. I don't know that this one's going to be that exciting. There's definitely not any intro that's got a whole lot of awesome music, although coming into some good Def Leppard, Van Halen, or even some Scorpions would probably make me pretty excited, but I think we'll try and figure out some way to make these things start off a little bit more attractive. From what I've seen out there in videos, there's some folks that really have a pretty good professional touch when it comes to these things, and I'll concede that I don't know how to do that. But Look, this channel and this show is really, it was created, and I started it not out of a desire on my part. I've had well more than enough customers on a monthly basis that ask me about YouTube and when I'm going to start putting something out there on YouTube, that it's time to actually answer that need, and I'll figure it out as I go along, hopefully with your input and your advice. I think that's what the comment section are for. But if you like it, I guess follow us. If not, that's fine. If you got questions, you can send them to us via email, or you can ask them in here. It does create a little notification for me on my phone, which means I'll answer it, because I don't like seeing those little numbers up there. It makes me feel like I got an unanswered email or something, or a text. So I'll get to questions and I'll get to comments if you put them on. I assure you, if for no other reason than to clear that little notification thing off of the app, because I don't really like seeing those. That's about it. I know this wasn't much for the first video, but we will hopefully get a little bit better as we go along. This is some examples of the bars that we make. They're not stamped up yet, but we'll take you through and show you that process. The Iron Man helmet's part of a prototype that I'm working on in partnership with another individual right now to do a series of about 100 of those. And the goal would be that twice a year we put out different helmets or different miniatures, like that are part of a series. And when they're gone, they're gone. Just to do something different, because it's fun making the bars continuously, but every now and then mixing it up with something that's a little bit more custom is a whole lot of fun. So welcome to the Silver Coast Copper channel. This is show number 1. If you think this is terrible, I will agree with you 100%, and it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But I had to get the first video out, because I think I promised that I would have one this weekend. Hopefully there's a better one that comes than this, but I'm not going to promise you that. Like I said, things stay pretty busy here on Saturday all the way up till the end of the day as well. But let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, I'll be sure and get back with it. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you stopping by.